Hey everybody, welcome back to the farm. This is Lisa, and today we're going to talk to you about the BARF diet for dogs. It is also for cats. However, I don't have a cat, so I can't speak to that experience. But what we ended up doing was processing the 4 roosters that we've had. If you've been following us along, we hatched them out in July, tried to give them away, no success, and so we needed to process them, and so we made dog food. So come on along and we'll tell you more about it. So first and foremost, I want to put it out there, we are not medically trained, we are not veterinarians, we are not nutritionists, so you will have to do your own research for this. However, we do want to share with you our experience with the BARF diet and our dogs. So while we are doing this, Ryan is removing all of the meat from the carcasses, and the reason why is because our grinder was not strong enough to be able to grind up the bones. Otherwise, we would have ground up bones and all in the food for Diesel. So what is the BARF diet? It is biologically appropriate raw food. There are several camps on this, or several opinions on a huge spectrum on this. I'm going to keep it to the way we did it and share our experience, but again, do your own research. So you're feeding raw meat, and it is raw meat that you grind up and you feed to your dog. You can add vegetables that are appropriate and safe for dogs, including leafy greens, pumpkins. For example, we add eggs. We add an egg when we give this to our dog. We don't cook any of this, and the reason behind the no cooking is because heat removes a lot of the nutrients and kills a lot of the nutrients. Now, is it safe? We treat our raw food for our dog like our own food when it comes to food safety and handling. We freeze it into smaller packages, and then we defrost an amount for up to 2 days in the fridge, and then we feed it out within those 2 days. There's a lot of controversy regarding salmonella in dog food. However, healthy dogs, not immunocompromised dogs, have an enzyme that will kill the salmonella bacteria. Vets don't often approve of this diet, and instead they often suggest diets that are, in our opinion, not healthy, but the vets are sponsored by them. We found that anytime we have been told to switch to a prescribed diet, our dog was sicker. When we put them on the raw, they were much, much healthier. Now, caveat here. Yogi came to us he was born in 2004. He came to us in 2009 as a rescue. And in 2019, he passed away just shy of his 15th birthday, which is unheard of for a bulldog. And Yogi, when he came to us, was riddled with skin allergies, fungal infections, his skin issues. He had coat issues. He would get secondary infections from his allergies on his skin, required a lot of bathing. He needed his anal glands expressed frequently because they would become impacted. Once we switched him to the raw, he used to go to the vet every month, multiple times a month. Once he got switched to the raw, he no longer went to the vet except for once a year. And we really feel that Yogi's health improved exponentially once he started the raw. Now with Diesel, not as much. Diesel did not seem to reap the benefits as much from the raw. However, we supplement raw. The reason why we don't feed 100% raw to Diesel is because, number one, he does not reap all the benefits that Yogi did. They seem to have not impacted his allergies. The other thing is that it's very expensive in this area. When we were in Connecticut and North Carolina, the raw food was comparable to some of the higher quality kibble that is out there in those prices. So we feed Diesel chicken necks with the bone. We grind up this meat. We will add some vegetables to it. If you wanted to, you could add a supplement like a sea kelp or some vitamins. There are plenty out there if you go to a dog food store. And for us, it just makes sense. And we add like an egg to it when we feed it, which is a perfect protein for a dog. It has a lot of vitamins and minerals that they need. So down below in the description box, I will be including some resources and links for you to check this out. We're also not feeding the skin because the skin was kind of tough for the roosters, and that's also adding some fat. And as an older dog, Diesel does not need the added fat, so we're trying to feed him lean meat. The bone is more critical and important for his well-being because of the nutrients it provides. So he does get chicken necks. Turkey necks he struggles with because he tends to eat like a hog and try to swallow them whole. So we stick with chicken necks. If you feed organ meat, it really should only be about 10% of their whole diet. We find that Diesel and Yogi, as they got older, really struggled to digest rich organ meat. So we stopped feeding as much of it as they got older and instead fed the lean meat, which worked out really well. But this can be done with, venison and so on. And for us, we just found it was really a good way to not have any waste on our homestead because we have 4 roosters that we could not give away. And instead of wasting them, they are also going to serve a purpose and feed our dog since we already have meat in our freezer for us. Another thing, we also prefer to grind it because it keeps our dogs at the bowl eating their food. When you tend to give them, say, a chicken cutlet or a steak, they tend to run off with it like they have a prize, and you can imagine how disgusting that could be in your home if they took off with it and then they hold it with their paws and they're trying to tear the meat off. So grinding is definitely a good option. And grinding also makes it easier to be able to feed the raw to your dog. So there are feeding calculators online that tell you the percentage of body weight that you need to feed to your dog of raw food per day. And I'll have a link down below. So the way that it works is you would say take out and measure on a scale, and you would take that daily ration and split it in 2 because most of us feed our dogs twice a day. So that is how we do it. So for example, a dog that is spayed and neutered gets less food per day because their body requires less of the energy from the food. However, a dog that is fully intact would require a little more. As they get older, they require less. And so one of the other things that we found is that it has really been able to control our dog's weight very well. Now, Yogi had come to us and he was not severely overweight, but he was a little on the heftier side. And with the raw dog food, we were able to maintain his weight. And as you can see here, we have Diesel's attention, full attention. And so guys, do your research if this is something you're interested in. And don't just take our word for it. All right, you guys, so there you have it. We've got almost 7 pounds of raw dog food in the freezer for Diesel, and he's a happy camper. And of course, he enjoyed some necks and some organ meat. So overall, he's a happy little boy. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.